Kia ora tātou. I'm with Gary Foster here today, and we're here at Ngati Hamua, Kohanga, and Gary's been creating a garden here, a mara, and he's just about to show us around. Kia ora, Gary.
Morena, Sam.
Hey, morena.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So this is a no-dig garden. We haven't done any rotary hoeing and we haven't done any turning of the soil with shovels. We've just smothered out all the weeds and the grasses and put down really good compost. And in the rows between the beds we've put down arborist wood chips, which a nice big thick layer to protect all the microorganisms and the soil bacteria and fungi, and it also suppresses all the weeds. So when we're here working, we get to either plant or harvest, and we don't have to bother too much with the weeding side of things. Just a little bit of weeding on a regular basis keeps it nice and clean and tidy. We've got in the garden, we've got quite a few different things. We've got beetroot and celery and kale and rocket and cabbages. We've got broccoli and lettuce, and we've got leeks and spinach and silver beet, and we've got strawberries and tomatoes. And over here we've got a nice little patch of two different types of kumara. Orange kumara here with the spiky leaves, and over here we've got red kumara. They seem to have grown really well in the soil that we added here, and I'm waiting with bated breath to see what's underneath there. We'll leave them in for a little bit longer. They're starting to yellow off, but we'll probably leave them till the first frost kills all the tops off, and then we might have a hangi or barbecue or something like that, and dig them up and reveal the bounty of the soil. Let's have a look over here. The rows are 1.2 meters wide, and then the paths are 600 mils wide. And over all the rows, I've got number 8 wire, pieces of number 8 wire, and a loop. And before I put them in the ground, I twisted the end like that to make a little handle. So when you do push them into the ground, you can use that little handle and push them in nice and easy. These loops are of number 8 wire are an important part of looking after this garden, because we don't use any sprays or chemicals. There's no herbicides or insecticides or even artificial fertilizers have gone on this garden at all, right from the start. So that our main pest control mechanism is to put good compost on all of these beds, all of these rows, at least once a year, which means that our plants are super healthy and they grow really big and strong, and they fight off most of the pests and diseases by themselves. Of course, there are one or two things like white butterflies that are a little more persistent, so that's where these hoops come in to the equation. And over these hoops we can stretch any different type of cover that we need. If we're trying to grow collies or cabbage or broccoli, any of the brassicas, in the middle of the summer when the white butterflies are really prolific, then we can put an insect net over these hoops. And here's an insect net here. It's a very fine net, and it just stops the white butterflies getting in there and laying their eggs. It also provides the plants with a little bit of shade in the middle of the hot summertime. So I find that all those brassicas, cabbages and collies and stuff, they do really well even in the summertime under this net. And also we, in the middle of the summertime, if it's getting really hot and we're trying to grow plants that like to grow in the cool weather, like brassicas again, we can use shade cloth and stretch it over these hoops, and then those things that would normally wouldn't grow because it's too hot in the middle of our wairapa summer, they'll grow perfectly well underneath a piece of shade cloth. Same at the beginning of the summertime when we're trying to get potatoes and tomatoes growing, and there's the danger of frost coming along. We can still plant those things here, and we can put frost cloth over the top of these hoops. And so that having these hoops and putting them in place and leaving them in place enables us to stretch either frost cloth or insect netting or shade netting or bird netting over the top of these. We just leave these here permanently, and as different crops come in and go out and they each have different needs, then we put in place the most appropriate type of cloth that we need here. Sometimes the cloths serve two purposes, like the shade netting will also keep out the white butterflies, so that's a good one to use in the middle of summertime when you're trying to grow cauliflowers or cabbages. We also got a row of strawberries in here, which I think get stolen on a regular basis by little hands sneaking under this net. But that's all right, that's really good, that's what they're there for. Remember the joy that you had when you were a kid, sneaking some strawberries out of somebody's garden. I want us to provide that same joy. So they're coming along nicely. They've provided, in their first year they've grown quite a few strawberries. In their second year they'll grow even more. This garden is, because we've set it up with all the beds covered in compost that's been produced using a hot composting system, so it doesn't have any weed seeds in it, and the paths are all covered in wood chips. It means that when I come here once a fortnight, it doesn't take me very long to weed the whole garden. By myself, I can weed the whole garden in probably an hour, once every 2 weeks. And so that's been a really worthwhile thing to do. And plus, what we see here is a whole lot of different species of plants and all looking really healthy. And the reason for that is because our primary job as gardeners in these no-dig organic systems is to look after the soil. And if we keep that in mind, if we do everything that we do is in order to look after the soil and the soil microorganisms, the bacteria and fungi, then 9 times out of 10, no matter what we plant in here, no matter when we plant it, no matter how we plant it, it grows really well, because plants need to have a relationship with the soil microorganisms. The plants depend on the soil bacteria and fungi to grow big and strong and healthy, and the soil bacteria and fungi depend on the plants to provide them with food which they exude out through their root systems for the bacteria. The bacteria also depend on the garden being covered at all times, because they don't like it when the soil dries out or really heavy rain beats down on them, or they get frost on them. It's not so good for them thriving. So keep the soil covered. It keeps the soil underneath moist and rich with organic matter, and that's just the sort of conditions that the bacteria and fungi love, and they're able to thrive and breed up. And there's a multitude of different species of them in here, and they all work together to support the health of the plants. And because the plants are healthy, then we become healthy as well. And all those bacteria in the soil end up talking to all the bacteria in our stomachs and guts. Then they form a relationship, and then we're getting really healthy and strong. Plants are healthy and strong, and we're healthy and strong.
Oh, Gary, it's so cool. Hey, look, thank you so much for showing us around your mata. And hey, How exciting. You've made it sound actually really quite simple to do. So, yeah, thank you. We look forward to your next YouTube clip.
Yeah, well, it's not my mara, it's the mara of Ngati Hamua, and I have the privilege of supporting them to produce all this beautiful kai on site with the kids.